Mike Tyson.
The most feared man on the planet.
There has not been a fighter like Mike Tyson.
That guy can still fuck you up.
I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. I'm the best ever.
Until one fighter completely humiliated him.
The fact is, he is overweight, tired-looking, fat.
And most people thought he was a joke.
Look at this! He's knocked Mike Tyson down! Unbelievable!
But who was this new champion that shocked the world?
James Buster Douglas.
I'm still the best fighter in the world.
Like you said, Buster Douglas had a lucky night.
You know what I mean? If he believes he's the champion of the world, we'll do it again. The biggest upset in boxing history became the biggest controversy in history.
Buster Douglas just in the right place at the right time when he wrested the title away from Mike Tyson.
Championship don't mean unless you stand for something.
Buster Douglas is a dog.
There's never been a question to who the heavyweight champion of the world was.
Regardless of who he fights, I'm going to get my title back. It's just a matter of time I'll catch the guy.
Why did you win this fight that nobody on the planet? Why did it happen, James?
What do you remember about that day, Buster?
And we are live inside Korakuen Stadium in Tokyo, Japan, as tonight, undisputed heavyweight champion Mike Tyson's against the challenger James Buster Douglas.
His opponent, as usual, was paid little heed.
In 1990, Buster Douglas was just another heavyweight out there who looked like a sitting duck for Mike Tyson.
The only important stage that Buster Douglas had ever been on was against Tony Tucker.
Really good combination there by Douglas.
He was beating Tony Tucker.
Buster Douglas is a guy who always had a tremendous amount of talent. At his best, he's literally like a world championship fighter, but he never totally put it together as far as his discipline.
And Douglas appears to be hurt.
He was beating Tucker until he ran out of gas.
Douglas on wobbly legs, about to go. Tucker presses him. It's over.
The ugly word in boxing is the guy quit.
Buster's reputation was established in the Tucker fight. Buster could fight, but he didn't always want to. But growing up, Buster never really had a choice.
I was probably in the 4th grade, was walking down the street, and there was a group of kids behind me. The kid never put his hands on me, but he just talked. And I was crying and walking away, and he was walking behind me, you know, all the other kids were behind him. I came in the house sniffling, crying. My mom was like, "What's wrong?"
Buster sort of took after his mother, was a sweet, kind, nice lady. He was very close to his mom.
She was my rock. Never wanted to disappoint her, always wanted to please her.
But there was another side to Buster's mother, the one that taught him how to stand up for himself.
My mother ran the household. When it got too ridiculous, if it ever did, she was the one that made everybody else shut up and listen. She was the one that made me go out and fight the bully. And I came home crying, and I said, you know, this kid said he was gonna jump me. She grabbed me and slammed me on the floor. It was like, if you don't go out there and stand up to that boy, it's gonna be me and you. After that, I didn't have a problem with defending myself.
And being the son of a professional boxer, Buster was always expected to follow in his footsteps, even though he never really enjoyed fighting. But whenever he lost his drive to keep going, there was always one reason for him to continue.
Mrs. Douglas would come and get him back into the boxing room so that he can continue his training. She wanted her son to be even better than her husband.
And the only way that Buster could surpass his father was by aiming for the top.
Well, I'm fighting professionally because it's not only that I want to achieve, I want to do something that he didn't really get a chance to do, become heavyweight champion of the world.
The dream of becoming heavyweight champion frozen on Buster Douglas's face.
In signing to fight Tyson, Douglas would have a chance, however far-fetched, to win the world title.
But what he didn't know was that Buster was never meant to win that fight.
Buster Douglas is a dog. He's always been a quitter. Really, that was why I chose him.
So Tyson signed up for a quick payday against an undistinguished opponent.
They wouldn't put Tyson in against somebody that would have a chance to win.
Buster Douglas, for that fight, trained like a demon.
The fight took place in Tokyo because nobody would pay 1 cent to see Buster Douglas fight Mike Tyson here in the States.
Do you always go into the ring feeling like you're invincible?
Yeah.
What do you think Buster's?
I don't have any idea what he's thinking. I don't care. I'm a champion, you know what I mean? I fight to win.
Nearly everyone predicted Tyson's destruction of Douglas.
But before he even stepped into the ring, the hardest fight of Buster's life had already begun.
A few weeks before the fight, your mom ends up getting sick.
A week before I left, You know, she got up and drove over to my house and she asked me these questions about where I was mentally because Tyson was just a menace, man. But after we talked, she felt confident that I was gonna win. She never let on to it, but health was feeling pretty bad. I got a call. She was getting ready to go to the hospital. When I got over there, they were taking her out on the gurney.
Just 23 days before the bout, Buster's mother, Lula Pearl, died of a stroke at age 47.
They were pulling her out. That was my mom. That was my mom.
What was your immediate reaction?
I was pissed, you know, because I was going to do so much for her, take care of her, you know. But this was the payday.
I'm glad he's the last one. I have 2 other sons, and he's the last one that I have to, you know, go through this with.
I guess you're proud of him tonight, though.
Very much so.
She always believed in me.
Soon after his mother's death, Buster resumed training, keeping his grief private, until one moment after a workout, a few days before the fight.
And he had his head down with a towel over his head. I picked a towel up, and he was just sobbing. Just broke down, and I thought, oh, he just told me he missed his mom.
My only concern was, would he be able to have the kind of focus that was going to be necessary to take on the challenge of beating Mike Tyson?
Were you close to her until the day she died?
Yeah.
How were you able to keep your focus?
Please welcome the challenger, James Buster Douglas. And his opponent, his outstanding record, 37 wins, no defeats. Introducing the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson.
Douglas insists that he's going to shock the world in this fight.
He would shock most of the world if he could make it into the middle rounds.
His mother's death had been communicated to us. We didn't know at that moment that it had somehow galvanized him.
By his mother just dying. He had no fear. What do I care?
The stage is set. We're set to go. Bob Sheridan here. You see Mike Tyson in the black trunks, traditional, and Buster. We've seen him fight outstandingly in many of his fights. Which Buster Douglas has come to fight tonight?
Early in the fight, the thing that was surprising me was how easily I was able to hit him.
Couple of right hands by Douglas.
Once I started touching him and reaching him, I started bringing the power.
That's another good right hand and 2 more good rights.
Everybody was shocked at the amount of punches that Buster Douglas was getting in.
Right hand by Douglas right on Tyson's chin.
The fight of Douglas's dreams was now the fight of his life.
You're too flat-footed.
Another right hand, and now Tyson seems to be wobbled. Mike is not throwing back.
He's doing to Mike Tyson what Mike Tyson does to all of his other opponents.
Buster Douglas is completely dominating this round. And again, the champion wobbles back to the ropes.
The 8th round is when I got relaxed that moment.
Buster started looking at his work. You ain't so bad. So he posed in front of him.
2, 3, 4, 5. A week prior to my mother passing, she came over to the house.
My mother got wind, and my dad's at the kitchen table reading the paper.
She came in, we sat down, and she said she just wanted to talk about the fight.
She was like, Billy, is this man an animal like they say? And my dad looked at her and said, yeah. And she said, well, is he like you?
He said, yes, yes he is, honey. Yes he is, dear. What is it gonna be with Buster?
And what'd he say?
He said, yeah, he could do it. I told her she had nothing to worry about.
He looked my mother in the eyes. He said, that's the son of a bitch you better be worried about who I'm fighting. For the first time, my mother saw her husband and her son.
Mike Tyson came out like I got him. Buster Douglas got knocked out. Nobody ever got knocked out by Mike Tyson and ever got back up. It was almost a 10 count. He was stumbling. They were 4, 3, 2, 1, and ding, 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 saved by the bell. And the world was shocked. What happened? He goes to his corner. The whole world is like, yep, that's it. Once he comes back out, that's it. Mike's gonna just hammer him. Buster Douglas had a decision to make. When his mother died, he could die with his mother, or he made a decision, I can wake up and I can live for mom. He said, I promised my mama before she died I was gonna beat her. Buster Douglas started fighting back.
Buster's legs actually look fresher to me. See Mike the way he went back in his heels, doesn't have the good balance. His legs together as Buster's landing these. Oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at that. He's knocked Mike Tyson down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson hits the canvas. He's in big trouble. He may not be able to recover. It's up to 7 and 8. He's not gonna make it. Unbelievable. 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 Buster Douglas is the new heavyweight champion of the world. This has got to be, if not the, one of the biggest upsets in the history of boxing.
Why did it happen, James?
Because I wanted it.
Why? Why did you win this fight that nobody on the planet gave you?
His mother.
In what way?
God bless her heart. I know she was looking down, happy, saying, I told you. Yeah, well, baby did it.
Buster Douglas left Columbus an unknown and returned home as a hero.
You did say, I consider myself still the champion.
I consider myself, I'm champion because I still consider myself the best fighter in the world. And Buster fought a great fight. You don't want to take that away from him. He deserves being champion of the world, and I commend him on effort.
I'm gonna tell you something. Life's gonna hit you in your mouth, and you gotta do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knockdown. Mike Tyson came out like, I got him. I got this kid up against the rope. Listen to me, many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope. You can't give up, you can't give in. Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back, simply because his why was greater than that punch.
She was having her battles, but yet she was still looking out for her baby. I mean, that's love, you know?
His why was greater than defeat.
And she raised me to be strong. The last thing she would want me to do is quit.
His why was greater than his trial and his tribulation.
Because she meant more to me than anything, anybody, or it's gonna let her down.
And I'm telling you, if you don't know what your why is, and your why isn't strong, you're gonna get knocked out every single day.